Have you ever had a dream of a combo to pull off in Marvel Snap? Well, I have too, and today I'm going to walk you through exactly how I build a deck to achieve it and maximize its potential on ladder. So, what is this grand idea of yours, you might be wondering? Well, that, my friends, is to use the new card Mother Askani in conjunction with Majestic Wingbeat to get final turn dumps of triple, even quadruple zombie giant men. That is my goal. I was trying to think through what 5-drop cards scale off having duplicated number of themselves, and although archetypal ones such as say a Darkhawk or a Ronin or even a Devil Dinosaur would do this, even a Xiao would do this in theory, they don't scale the same way zombie giant men do. Zombie giant men all add their power to the horde, and then they gain the collective power of the horde. So each zombie giant man you play consecutively after the next and after the next is going to be bigger and bigger. Additionally, they will be getting buffs from Majestic Wingbeat and Mother Askani to increase their amount of total base power. So we are going to add those two cards into the list. All right, now the next thing that checks my box is what cards do I need to enable this combo? So what questions am I asking? Right now I'm asking, can I do Mother Askani multiple times? Can I do Majestic Wingbeat multiple times? And there are two main cards that come to mind when I think of this. One that interlaps with both, which would be Wong, and then the other, which is a fairly cheap card, and that is Joaquin Torres. Pardon my scrolling time. I'm a slow typer, so I like to scroll. I'm mostly a mobile player, so it's just a built-in habit of scrolling through. But anyways, throwing that aside, now the next question is, okay, we have some synergy. We need to start to round out the rest of this deck. So I'm thinking we need a way to create a horde. And what card synergizes with Joaquin Torres and synergizes with Wong? That's right, the Hunger. And additionally, another great card in these archetypes would be Zombie Scarlet Witch herself. So once I find her, we will be adding her into this deck. So now we have the potential to do stuff like a turn 3 Zombie Scarlet Witch, a turn 4 Wong, a turn 5 Majestic Wingbeat Mother Askani. That would put the Zombie Giant Man down twice from Majestic Wingbeat, I guess 4 times on the Wong. That would basically make them all free. So that's the insane, crazy high roll. But what about we only get to use the Mother Askani? Right now, off of Wong, we're going to hit the Zombie Giant Man twice. He's going to go down to 4 and then go down to 3. This is still a bit too expensive to be able to do the dump a bunch of times on the final turn of the game. And additionally, we kind of have a new challenge where we need to keep the curve of this deck low as to position the Zombie Giant Man when we draw him into that leftmost slot in our hand to be able to dump all these cards. So something that comes to mind that, hits both these check marks that I'm trying to describe here is Quinjet. Quinjet not only will reduce the cost of the copies we create, but he also is a very cheap card, and we're just going to be able to throw it out there on the board, not even think about it. Another card that comes to mind that checks these boxes is Surge. Now, Surge is 1 cost more expensive, but Surge is able to reduce all of the costs of our cards, and we're able to repeat that multiple times in powerful ways, and we're able to even duplicate it with stuff like Wong, which is a combo that I have abused previously in my Infinite Exodia deck, and you might notice that this is starting to take similar shape to that. So now we have a pretty solid shell of a deck forming. We have a coherent thought, but we still need maybe a backup way to enable this Mother Askani, because right now we're really strong when we draw Wong and Mother Askani, but I want to be really strong when we draw Mother Askani every game. So I'm going to add an additional enabler to this package, which would be Silver Surfer First Steps. While Silver Surfer First Steps does not repeat a bunch of times like a Wong would, it can give you 1 extra Askani proc, which can be a difference maker, but it also has synergy with our Zombie Giant Man and synergy with our Surge. Not every game we're going to hit the crazy Mother Askani Nuts combo, so now we're adding some more synergy with our Zombie Giant Man, and we could add another card into the list that would let us win off just doing Zombie Giant Man and then a second one, and that card is Absorbing Man. That comes to mind. Not only does Absorbing Man allow us to just do regular zombie deck game plans, but he also can be a recipient target for our double or triple Mother Askanis, where we get an Absorbing Man down to a 3/7 and then down to a 2/9, and the copies can get reduced by Quinjet. And then on turn 5 we play Zombie Giant Man, and then the following turn we're playing Absorbing Man, Absorbing Man, Absorbing Man. So that adds a backup method for us to be able to hit our combo. Now this last card is a bit of a hard one to fill because there are a couple niches left void in this deck right now, which could be something like draw consistency, and Adam Warlock could be a quite good suggestion. There is also the thought of, okay, we're creating a lot of duplicate cards, we are a zombie deck, what if we play Zombie Mr. Fantastic? We have the Wong, we have the Surfer First Steps, we can get additional triggers of this guy, and that could be quite decent, but I still don't know if he's hitting exactly what I'm looking for. Another card could be like Pixie, but for this specific goal, I'm thinking, okay, you do Pixie, you get the cost reductions, but what happens when your stuff gets reduced and it gets stuck in hand? Or when your cheap stuff, you draw it and it's all the way on the right and you still need to be able to take the time to play out the rest of your hand. So I'm not exactly sold on Pixie without a good way to get a Wong in here. Apologies, a Mobius and Mobius in here. Sage kind of strikes me as a viable option to add here. She synergizes well with Absorbing Man and also Silver Surfer First Steps and Wong, and she is a great Mother Askani recipient where you could duplicate her a bunch and do her in multiple locations. Sage is probably the best card that we've looked at so far for this last spot. Magik could be another strong option. I think Magik not only giving you the additional turn to draw your cards, but also serving as an energy cheat, giving you an additional 7 energy on the final turn of the game. She looks like a really strong option and kind of makes me think that even something like a Hope Summers or alternatively a Luna Snow could be a strong option if you are trying to optimize for only 6 turns, not willing to take that Magic Limbo risk. And honestly, I think at this point, anything above this is going to make the curve of the deck way too clunky and going to be asking way too much to filter out our hand and get these buff recipients where we want them to be. So with all that said, what do I think I will end up choosing? And you know, it's a very hard choice to end up making, and even now while I'm sitting here talking it out, I could do something like a Esme Kaku, who would be able to draw us one of our pieces, synergizes with the Quinjet. We can get multiple copies to our hand with stuff like Wong. But I think if you know me and my style decks, you guys probably will know what I'm picking, and that is going to be the Magik for this particular build. Well, it might be a better deck doing something like a Sage or something like an Esme to up the consistency. I'm playing a little bit just for fun, and I want to see this combo happen. I want to make triple Zombie Men drop onto the board on the final turn with people not knowing what's up. So I'm going to try to make the deck building consideration that maximizes my chance for that to happen. I'm pretty sure if I do get that to happen, I could end up with some strong lanes, maybe looking at like 30 to 40 power in a bunch of different lanes. So anyways, we talked enough about it and we kind of did a card by card breakdown as we added each one to the list. So I'm going to hop into some gameplay highlights and show you guys how it turned out. I think we're going to take it on ladder, maybe play something like 5. We might do even 10 games because in my head this is going to play out more like a Mr. Negative type deck where if we see the combo we want, we're going to be snapping. If we're very much not on curve to hit that, we're probably going to be doing a lot of early retreating. So when you're doing something finicky like this, do be aware that you have to adjust how you snap and retreat. But appreciate everybody watching to this point of the video. I do want to say this is a bit of a meme deck. I know a lot of my decks are super off meta. This is another one, but this is leaning towards the edge of more jank, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll see what happens. Be sure to like, drop a comment if there's any other crazy ideas like this that you guys want to see built, because I'm sure I have not thought of all of them. And yeah, I appreciate your viewership, appreciate your time, and I'll see you over in the gameplay. No better person to face on turn 1 than Nick Folian Dynamite himself. And look at this hand. We got it. We almost have the nuts. We're going to be able to play Silver Surfer First Steps into Mother Askani, possibly get 2 copies of our Zombie Giant Man. We'll even be able to do that on turn 5 and get the Majestic Wingbeat down first. Wingbeat is not that great for us to be down early, although it does help us win the Silver Surfer First Steps lane when it happens. I don't know why I fist bumped. I meant to do the Spider-Man point, but it is what it is. Honestly, we're going to drop it all now, and I would highly encourage snapping, although I will not be doing that here. I think I just do it now. As much as I want to wait and Wingbeat, I'm going to do it now. As much as I want to get the Torres value, I don't think it matters. But do encourage you to snap this hand if you are playing along at home and you get this kind of draw. I'm not going to do it here because I need the gameplay footage, because I'm a content creator. Boom. Zombie Giant Man to 4-6. Askani puts him down to 3-8. We get a copy of it to hand. Then he goes down to 2-10. Oh, I did want to say Grandmaster was additionally a consideration for this list that I did not get to mention previously. We're just going to try to hold this all as long as humanly possible. Funny enough. We do want to draw into something like the Hunger, a Wong, Zombie Scarlet Witch, even an Absorbing Man. Any of those cards would be really good. Pretty much any card we draw besides Magik. Hunger, perfectly fine by me. We're going to drop that bad boy down into playing out our first Zombie Giant Man. Yes. And now, no matter what we draw, we can play the rest of it with what we have. Also, I'm misplaying. I need to be doing this. Hunger onto Joaquin Torres into Zombie Giant Man. But the most expensive cards in our deck are 4 cost. The Surge will put them down to 3. We're going to be able to play out all of that on the final turn of the game. Zombie Horde going there is quite nice. He cannot interact with it with anything like a Shadow King. And these are just going to be some big men. Hopefully Nick Folian stays. I think he will. Nick Folian always seems to stay into these types of hands. We are just going to try to get as many points as possible in these other side locations. So we are going to play something like that and just do a ton of points with their Zombie Giant Man. We are missing out on the clubhouse, but we already have that location locked down. Oh, and we took priority. I didn't even realize that because I was thinking, oh, what if I get Cosmoed? But not going to have to worry about that at all. And here's the Absorbing Man. So yeah, what a first game, I swear. Game 1, no cuts. Hopefully we get to do a lot more of this because look at this board state. 33, 33, 43. We played 4 Zombie Giant Men. It's awesome. I love it. Gambit could still... no, he can't flip anything. He's going to destroy our Horde, but I think we're fine. Yep. Look at that. I think the only way we lost... No, we just couldn't have lost that. Perfect. Straight into game number 2 against Antonio GN. I assume the GN stands for good night, although I'm not sure. I did not mention this during the card by card, but Absorbing Man can also be used to hit Mother Askani herself. I'm going to hold everything out currently and try to play for a Magik. Magik would be the ideal thing, although, Space Stone, maybe not. Oh, we could also just play for the Absorbing Man copies, getting multiple of them. We cannot Wong because we need to play Zombie Giant Man next turn. Esme and Valentina, interesting. This is a very scary deck to go up against. I don't know what we're going to be witnessing here, but this is so tempting. I think I'm going to do it, although the probability of us getting scammed is pretty high. We just kind of need cards to play. We need to buff our Horde some way before we start dropping Zombie Giant Men. These are going to be some big Absorbing Men, though, which you do love to see. Alright, we get to play down, actually not quite much. It's just going to be Hunger into Zombie Giant Man, and we hope to hit the Silver Surfer First Steps proc here. Bolts of Balthak looks like he is setting up for the turn 7, so I do not expect a Reality Stone, pardon me. Zombie Horde likely getting blown up by the Gambit Horseman of Death. That is one very strong, very strong card into us. I was going to say very stark weakness having that happen to us. Not fun at all. but we're going to play down the Absorbing Man and drop down a second Absorbing Man. Silver Surfer First Steps can give us a third one, and which will serve to buff this guy when he does end up revealing. Will it be enough? Quite unsure. I have no idea what's happening here. It will be enough for Lemuria, but what about for the Dark Dimension? Honestly, it might depend on where this horde gets generated at. Please go middle. Dang, it went right. That's unfortunate. We might have needed that extra points. It's going to be an extra 6 points, which I do think matters quite a bit. But we will see. That last card better be big. Eliath. Yep. If we had the extra points, we win the middle lane. Wow. Or if Gambit was not guaranteed to destroy our zombie horde there, if he whiffs on the zombie horde, we also win that game. So, very disappointing to see. We were favored there. We honestly, odds should have been that we won. Straight into game number 3. White Palace off rip is, pardon my rhyming, not something I want to see, because that adds cards to our hand, and if we want to play out the card that we got added to our hand, we're going to add even more cards to our hand. And we really need our cards to be on the left side. But I do like Sinister London for Zombies deck. Now, that's really nice. He's doing the same thing of doing zombies, but can he do the same amount of zombies? That we will stay tuned to see. I'm going to avoid playing out. Ooh, this could be spicy. Although I really don't like it that much. It actually could be quite great, because then we're going to play Zombie Scarlet Witch and then start dropping spells. Honestly, this is not the worst idea that I've ever had. It does set up for some crazy hungers and wingbeats if we are so lucky to draw them. What 2 do we get? Hopefully we get mines. Actually, probably the best things we could have got. And we get a Wong as well. Interesting. I think that's too greedy to set up, though, if I'm being blatantly honest. I think this is probably the play. I think this, and then we're going to ramp into some extra energy for the final turn, get down a couple Mother Askanis. Although maybe we do just one Mother Askani. Boom. Oh my goodness. Go left. Oh my goodness. That's so much power from the remote mines. Unfortunate that the horde did go there. I would have preferred it right, but it is not the end of the world by any means. Next, we are going to Askani and Vibra Shock. This will give us... I guess we do... Hang on. I think we do Askani here and Vibra Shock. And maybe we even flip the order. We're going to get 3 extra energy going into the final turn of the game that will allow us to do Zombie Giant Man into Absorbing Man. And we have the exact board spots to make that worth it. Another play could have been Wong into the Zombie Scarlet Witch. That would have also been quite nice. This is kind of a game where I wish I had like Sage or another on reveal to target with the Abs Man. Although it is good to hit Askani early, what happens when you draw the card real late? How much is the answer? There's his Zombie Giant Man, which is created, so he is going to get to play another one. Probably will just beat us due to the size of this horde. Absolutely giant horde. We don't get anything nice. We get Abs Man, so I'm going to retreat later from this one. There is no cope staying. This is our first one where we just got totally killed, but that is because our deck is built around seeing one card in specific, and we did not see that card. It'll happen. It is what it is. We're playing a greedy combo build. Boy, do I love this starting hand. We're going to hold it all because we are playing Joaquin Torres down. Nidavellir is very interesting. I think I'm going to set up the Silver Surfer First Steps, maybe in the right lane, because our hunger is going to go over there, and that will help us dramatically win that lane. Ooh, Avengers Compound might change things. It might. We'll wait and see. We could also just Magic on the Nidavellir lane to get rid of it. That's probably what we will end up doing. Looks like we're going against a Rocks deck that is not going to be able to get the total value they want out of a Sandstorm. We're going to drop Magic into Hunger, and then next turn we're going to have to be playing here. So we'll see what we draw. Hopefully it's Askani, and we can play Wingbeat into Askani. Get 2 copies of this Absorbing Man, and then we play Zombie Giant Man, Absorbing Man. We might be able to play all 3. This also strikes me as a matchup that we might be good into, although they very well could be a Cosmo deck. So something to actively think about here as we go into this turn. We do have priority, but as we go into the final turn, I should say. turn 6 to turn 7. We'll play the Wong down and the Wingbeat. That's perfectly fine. It looks like we're going to get Zombie Giant Man into this lane, which will go up twice, and then Silver Surfer First Steps will guaranteed copy the Zombie Giant Man. It'll go up twice, and our Absorbing Man will be absolutely huge. He already has 9 power base, but he's going to be just way bigger than that. Ozymandias. Alternatively, we get 4 triggers of the Askani onto Absorbing Man and do some silly stuff, which we do not see. Instead, we see the Zombie Giant Man. Let's pray that the opponent is not playing Scarlet Witch, is not playing Cosmo. If it's either of those, we probably just lose on the spot, but very good chance that it is not, and that it is something greedy. We might try setting up 2 cards over here into a Sandstorm. We'll see. Rhino into a Sandstorm. Look at that. And I think we will be going over the top of this, barring any Shadow King shenanigans. We also should be taking priority here. Horde goes up. Horde goes up again. Silver Surfer First Steps triggers. Horde goes up. And the Horde goes up again. So now we are looking at an Absorbing Man that is worth a total of... He's going to gain 16. Gain 16 power. So unless opponent is playing Shadow King, we should just definitively win this game. Absorbing Man represents 25 power here on the final turn of the game, followed by an additional 4 from the Zombie Scarlet Witch. That puts us at a total of 29 that we're adding into the mid lane. Opponent could also do something like a Valkyrie, which would serve to beat us, but if they have the answer, it is what it is. They'll take the dub. We still did some strong things, you know what I mean? Opponent took their time thinking it out. 2 cards come down in the mid lane, 1 in the left. What did he predict? What is he playing around? Here comes a rock, another rock. They are absolutely huge, actually, but we are even bigger. We'll take the 2 cube dub. All right, loading up into game number 5. Here we come. I believe this Luke's bar does not work with the hunger how you would want it to. I think it banishes first before it gets bounced back to hand. I know because I tried doing that with an Agamotto deck where I bounced the Bolts of Balthak and it did not work out for me. But what we are going to do this game is try to fill up this right location as fast as possible to guarantee that the hunger will go over into the Luke's bar. So we are going to play down our Magik. Get it down now. Actually, yeah, Magik's fine. That just means Silver Surfer First Steps does have to go into the mid lane by the time we play it. I wish we could fill up with a spell. That would be quite nice as well if we were able to do Hunger right to force it into Luke's bar, but I don't think that'll happen. Electro, we could be facing down the barrel of a Legion gamer. Would be quite scary. I'm going to play my Surge and my Quinjet. Get them both out. Black Panther, something more in the combo zone. This is probably going to be a Zola and a Peef, or maybe like a Destroyer. It's going to be something silly, something crazy. All right, we get Wong into Hercules. Interesting. I think we have to chance it here. I don't think it will be going over the top of their possible Odin that they have coming down. We might need to get a Zombie Giant Man, Absorbing Man both into the mid location. Unfortunate that we couldn't get the double Surge procs. We're just a little bit weird here on location. So an Odin here is our main concern, and it might beat us. Also, notice the change to the ongoing stackings coming into effect here. Normally, that play right there would have been worth a total of... Apologies, I'm thinking. Would have been worth a total of 12 onto the Zombie Horde, but because of the changes, it only happens thrice. Ooh, Enchantress really does limit our power output, and it does free up them to play more cards on the final turn of the game. Although Zombie Giant Man is quite big. Do we get the Absorbing Man? We can do a Cope Stay. Do I want to do a Cope Stay? I don't know. What's coming down? Probably like a Foom, and we still lose? Let's see. Absorbing Man is going to copy this, put this up to 13. Absorbing Man is 19 points, which puts us up to 41. We likely just lose. He Odins, we just die. But Cope Stay to end it all off. We're just playing 5 games today because I am pretty impressed with how it went. Shang-Chi, that's crazy, but yes, that'll kill us as well. And Adamantium, that's crazy that the opponent... Wow, they really played that giga-brained. They saw we had JT down in the mid lane. They're like, all right, I'm going to Electro there because I'm going to Enchantress it later. which is nuts. So well-deserved 4 cubes. I have to stay to see what you're doing when you're playing a cool deck like that.